What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. And with this being a huge week for Marvel Comics, make sure that you check out Darkhold and Inferno that will be posted today. But with this issue, we are jumping into X-Men issue number 6. If you haven't been keeping up with this line, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this line. But this is taking us in a new direction, with the immortality of mutant kind about to be disclosed to the entire world. The Quiet Council has devised a new plan, and that new plan starts with our new hero known as Captain Krakoa. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 6, we are picking up with Captain Krakoa. And the good captain is helping anybody he can around New York City, having a flower crown around his head, being able to throw out vines, being able to fly, having some very unique abilities. This is Captain Krakoa. And that is when we are taken to the Quiet Council the day before this happens, before we see Captain Krakoa make his appearance in New York City. And Cyclops, he is very much opposed to the idea of Captain Krakoa, not wanting him on the X-Men team. This is not his call. No longer being on the council, he has no say in this. But the Quiet Council is going to put it up to a vote, and the vote is almost unanimous, all except for, of course, Sinister, because he just wants to throw a wrench into all of the gears. But the vote passes, and that means that Captain Krakoa will be on the X-Men team. With Scott furious having this decision made, he storms out of here, and we pick up with Sunfire. And he is currently observing Fei Long, the human that had been devastated, working so hard to prepare to go to Mars, experimenting on his own body so he could exist in the environment on Mars to make true Martians. But with mutant kind taking the planet, terraforming it, that was taken away from him. But that did not stop him from launching himself into space, headed directly for Mars. Sunfire going to be the one to greet him and send him back to Earth to avoid any kind of incident. Sunfire recognizes that he is not headed to Mars. He is not headed to Araco. He is headed directly for the moon known as Phobos. Bringing it all in for a landing and touching down on this moon, Sunfire is there to greet him. Sunfire letting him know that it is time for him to go back, that he is to be his escort all the way back to Earth. But Fei Long is landing everything he has right here on this little moon orbiting Mars. Sunfire trying to negotiate the best he can. Araco is going to see this as a hostile move. Of course, he doesn't care about that, saying that Mars had been stolen from them, that it belongs to humanity, and so whoever is down on that planet, he doesn't care in the slightest who it may upset. Now Sunfire, he really wants to avoid any kind of incident, telling Fei Long it's time for you to go. It is time for you to get off this moon before it gets any worse. But Fei Long tells him, reminds him, that they are at war, regardless if he wants to deny this fact at all. If Krakoa wants to say that they're not at war with humankind, we know for a fact that is not true. And this is where it all begins, right here on this moon, claiming the moon for all of mankind. With those on Araco watching what is happening, we see Lornak go up and go greet this human. Being brave enough to come to their doorstep, he is going to tell him it is time to leave. But the truth is, he wanted a fight. He hasn't had a good fight in a very long time. And when Fei Long tells him that he is not leaving this moon, bringing his mighty axe down upon them, Sunfire intercepts, trying to stop this fight from happening, trying to stop Fei Long from being murdered right here on this moon. With the two of them battling it out, Sunfire gets flung in the opposite direction, and when Vornak comes down to end Fei Long's life, we see a blast of green energy come bursting out of him. Energy so powerful, it completely incinerates our mutant. This is letting Sunfire know this is in fact a war. These are the shots fired, and this is where everything starts. With Fei Long holding him off, Sunfire tells him this will not stand, letting Storm know that his escort mission has failed. Within days, we see Orcus and humanity take over this moon. Drone shipments coming every hour. Orcus has built themselves a permanent base hovering right at the back door of mutant kind. And so now with this moon taken over by humankind, they can prepare for their battle. The battle to take back all of Mars. Meanwhile, down on Earth in New York City, we have the memorial of Cyclops. At the treehouse, thousands and thousands gather to light candles and pay tribute to one of the greatest heroes this city has ever had. Because this was the plan from the Quiet Council. Cyclops had to die. But as Captain Krakoa goes into the treehouse, he presses a button and it is revealed that this is in fact Cyclops. With them faking his death, he can no longer be seen in public. And so anytime he goes out there, he is Captain Krakoa. And at this point, he doesn't know what to do. He hates this decision. He doesn't want Captain Krakoa out there. Maybe he even wants this secret just known to the world. But headed out a secret entrance, he goes out to get some air, and this leads him to a payphone, and it appears that Scott has some kind of ulterior motives, calling our reporter friend, saying that he has information about the story on the mutants. But what Cyclops learns is that the reporter has no memory of writing any kind of story on mutants. And Scott knows his memory had been wiped. The Quiet Council had taken care of this and ensured the secret would not get out. And so with everything being kept under wraps, Cyclops, Scott Summers, is now officially dead. And there is only Captain Krakoa. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I feel like this is a secret that they just can't keep up with. You can't keep Cyclops on the sidelines as Captain Krakoa. Eventually, someone is going to find out about their immortality, gonna find out about the resurrection process, and he'll be able to come back. But as it stands, the perception has to be that he is dead, with the Quiet Council doing everything they can to ensure that this secret does not get out. Because if it does, that means they're going to be at all-out war with the entire world, because they are going to want these secrets. If you have the key to immortality, everyone else is going to want that as well. But we can only imagine how hard this is on Cyclops. Everything he is, everything he was, he has to now let go of. At least temporarily, we have to pretend this Scott is dead. So the connections, the relationships, everything he had outside of Krakoa, it is now gone. And then we have Fei Long, the one who essentially mutated his own body, that way he could survive on Mars. And it appears that he has some uncontrollable power that will match some of the strongest individuals in mutant kind. And so if he is able to replicate this into other people, they could very well have an army that could take them on. And then you have the machines. You have Nimrod and Omega Sentinel. So we can only imagine a battle is brewing. It is just on the horizon. With this base now on the moon that circles around Mars, it is all but inevitable for the House of Cards to completely crumble down. Be sure that you guys have subbed and hit that notification bell, because with the next issue, we are going to find out the origin of Captain Krakoa and how this suit was ever created to begin with. I'm sure we're going to be visiting Forge in the next issue. But with that being said, until the next breakdown.